Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell at the top so you can be notified when we drop new content. The great debate, we finna talk about Jon Jones versus Stipe. They finally scheduled it. What's your initial thoughts on this?
My initial thoughts are, I can't prove this. This is just me speaking in theory. But the thing is, I think that when Dana White came out and said that Jon Jones was on the run, or he didn't say he was avoiding Stipe. He was implying that Jon Jones was not trying to fight Stipe. I think that was a smokescreen.
A misdirection.
Yeah, that's a tactic that the UFC used to get you distracted. And then they can say, okay, Jon Jones fighting Stipe. When we was like, hold on, I thought you haven't heard from Jon Jones in a month. He said he hasn't heard from Jon Jones since he beat the serial guy.
But the odd thing about that, even if it was true, it was BS because the fight at that time happened like 2 weeks prior. I'm like, the man literally just won like 2 weeks ago. Give the man time to breathe. Good Lord, man. He's celebrating and finishing the training camp and just chilling and enjoying family and stuff. He don't have to call you the very next day.
And this is his first fight in 3 years.
Yeah, like relax, Dana. Sheesh.
But the thing is, it's a lot of people who think that Jon Jones is going to dominate Stipe. I don't think he's going to dominate Stipe. I think Jon Jones can get the job done. I just think it's going to be more competitive than what people think.
It might be a little bit messy. You know, it might be a messy one.
It's going to be messy, but I get what you're saying.
It might be messy.
You're talking about on both sides, right?
It's definitely going to be messy because the thing is, Jon
definitely not going to take Stipe down and just ground pound.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to have to stand up with Stipe for a minute. And the thing is, the hands didn't look too hot against Cyril for the small amount of time. It didn't look too hot. And another thing is, y'all have seen these videos of Jon play fighting with people behind the scenes lately. You seen he was with Israel Adesanya.
Yeah.
And then you seen with Muhammad Ali's grandson. They were doing that same little play fight thingy.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. There was a few parts of it where Jon, it was like, okay. But then the other part of it seemed like, I don't know, man. I know they was playing around, but I was like, sheesh, man. He looked a little sluggish, low-key. But obviously, it's Jon. I don't doubt him.
He just look a little slow with the hands. That's it, man.
That's what I'm saying. And so the thing is...
And it's never been his, like...
He was never a super great boxer
even against Dominic Reyes, there was times when Dominic just was... Yeah, there was sequences where he was just embarrassing him with the hands. He never hurt Jon or nothing, but he was just putting hands on him. And then Jon, he don't look as comfortable exchanging hands. You notice, like, you can make it a boxing match, bro, but he don't look comfortable. He even said after the fight, he said that Dominic showed holes in my game. I will fix those holes. So Jon Jones actually admitted that was some of the holes he has in his game.
But I'm going to say this, though. We can't act like Stipe is not chinny from time to time. Every now and then...
You saying that, but look, dude, Francis Ngannou. We're talking about some of the hardest.
DC.
Alistair Overeem. If anything, he showed he had a great chin because he got knocked out and came back and won 2 more.
Wasn't Fabricio piecing him up before he caught him?
Well, these are some dangerous guys, though.
But I'm saying, I understand that, but I'm just saying he basically can't get hit by Jon either. Whatever Jon throws,
I think that's going to be part of Jon Jones' game plan is to land the right straight hand.
100%.
Or to land the right straight.
100%, because Stipe can be chinny.
But that's not Jon Jones' strength, though.
It ain't, but imagine him showing up with that, and it was unexpected. And you looking for the wrestling, and the hands look real good. And then you start worried about that, then here come the wrestling. It's a lot of ways he can mix it up on Stipe, man. The thing is, this fight, man, I know Stipe had a close one pass away and everything. That's tough. You know, I know that was part of the reason why he hadn't fought in a long time. That's tough. So my thought was, are you in a space to really be fighting right now?
And the fact that you fought,
who knows how long it takes to recover from something like that, just mentally, you know.
And the fact that you've been inactive too. You haven't fought in a couple years.
And you coming off a knockout loss, man.
Who?
Stipe.
Oh, he ain't. Oh, yeah, Francis. I forgot about this
I often say...
I was thinking about the DC fight.
Yeah, he definitely was coming off a knockout loss. And you got to remember, DC was piecing him up before DC got tired, you know. I don't know, man. I think Stipe from 2 or 3 years ago, this would have been more competitive. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. I never would just say Jon would flat out destroy him because it's MMA. You know, you can never, ever say what will happen for a certainty. And especially, I don't know if this is going to be Jon's last fight, is it?
He said it's going to be his last fight.
If this is his last fight, man, let's be real. We know that once you put that in the air...
But that's a lot of pressure too, man.
We know that a lot of times guys don't go out on their high horse. But Jon has been an outlier. I will say this.
The only thing is, how is Stipe going to win? If you take away that right hand, he might as well don't even throw it. He ain't going to land it. How is Stipe going to win this fight? Because what people don't understand with Stipe, his game is a little bit like Jon Jones with their approach. because Stipe's game is circled around his wrestling. A lot of people don't know that. His hands help takedowns.
Give examples, because I know people going to be like, what do you mean?
I mean, like when he fought Marlon Hunt.
That's what yeah.
You know, I mean, when he fought Francis Ngannou the first fight.
Certain people with their hands wouldn't,
and obviously,
you don't want to take no chances.
Obviously, he couldn't do that against DC. But typically, he's real good at mixing in the takedowns from time to time.
He's a balanced fighter, so wherever his opponent has an advantage, he can kind of go the other way.
Yeah, and the thing is, he can't take down Jon. So the only thing Stipe can do to Jon is he can walk forward and try to land that right hook. But the thing is, that's the only thing Jon got to be worried about is the right hook from Stipe. That's why I say I think this fight can go 5 rounds. It's going to be a war. And I think it's going to come down to...
I don't think it's going 5. But I'm going to tell you another thing.
You know,
once Francis take you down, I think this fight might be already over.
In the second fight, Francis, he dropped Stipe. He hurt him. And then he took him down for a second. Stipe popped back up.
Yeah, but Francis also not a wrestler. But if you remember how Jon Jones broke down what Francis did to Cyril Gane, or like he said, Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane. The fact of the matter is, once that happened, that sealed.
But we also see him stuff DC takedowns for 5 rounds too.
But okay, you know how Jon Jones used what Francis did to Cyril Gane as a way to beat Cyril Gane? I think he might can do the same thing. How Francis beat. Well, he's already done it. He's already done it on Cyril Gane.
But Cyril Gane, he had some glaring weaknesses in his game. I thought other people were going to explore that too. I thought Tai Tuivasa was going to do it.
How?
It was a lot of things Jon Jones said about Cyril Gane. He's real good at his movement. He fights with his hands down, but nobody really can capitalize on that because he's so athletic. Jon was able to capitalize on him. He said he's not as fundamental as people think because he fights with his hands down, but he relies on his elusiveness. Obviously, Tuivasa and Derek Lewis wasn't fast enough to do it. I think Jon is expected to go to war. I think he's expecting to go to war. He's putting together a game plan to go 5 rounds. I hate to say this, bro. You got to say, dude, Stipe went 5 rounds with DC. I think the easiest way for Jon Jones to win is to keep the fight on the feet and to outstrike Stipe for 5 rounds. And that's the smartest way.
Do you think that DC will help either of these guys prepare for the other guy?
DC, he would never get over the Jon Jones thing. He might prepare Stipe.
That's what I'm saying, because
that's good.
Because he's one of the heavyweight GOATs, you know,
I think Stipe was just the champion, the current champion, and they had a rivalry. But it was only because Stipe was a current champion. There's no bad blood there. It was a video with them playing the game. Stipe knocked DC out on the UFC game, and I think they were cool then. DC would never do that with Jon Jones. If he had to choose between the two, he would choose to train with Stipe.
Well,
it's I think this fight can realistically go 5 rounds too, honestly, or at least it'll be the safest way for Jon to win. You know, because.
But I'm gonna say this: if it go 5 rounds, historically, Jon don't lose those, even if he lose those.
Message.
So I hope Stipe know that. I'm glad they made the fight. I hope they both make it there healthily, man, and we get a good fight. And this has been a crazy year for MMA, man. If this is Jon Jones' last fight, what a heck of a ride. I mean, my goodness. When I'm thinking about it now, it's just hitting me all at once.
I just hate that we never saw the Francis Ngannou fight. We're not going to see the Sergey one. It's just...
But it ain't his fault that a lot of those divisions really were kind of weak and kind of...
Yeah, but even what Francis said...
Up until they got there.
But what Francis said that when they were facing off, he said, but you had 3 years to fight me. It was kind of like, yeah, he kind of did. And then Johnson had to gain a lot of muscle.
But you can't go up and just fight no Francis Ngannou just because.
No, I understand that, but it was Jon who said that Francis was avoiding him. When Francis, he was the champion, there was plenty of opportunities.
Well, at least we'll get to see this one, man, and who knows what'll happen. One thing we've seen is these fighters say they retire or they leave the UFC, but when the checks come in different places, he might retire. We might see Jon Jones at the PFL if they offer him a whole bunch of money. Who knows?
Yeah,
the future,
even if he's there as a non-fighter. On some Jake Paul type stuff, bro.
No, I'm saying if he beats Stipe and he really want to fight Francis, I'm saying the UFC would never let it happen. But the PFL,
see, I get what you're saying.
They definitely going to
go one fight country.
That's what I'm saying. They definitely going forward for sure.
It might be what Francis is doing. He might be just waiting.
Ooh, dude, what if they both did that, bro? Imagine how mad Dana White would be. That would be hilarious, man. Y'all let us know what y'all think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.